All right, traders, what a week on week three. And it's more than crazy than from week two. As you guys can see right here, mostly I traded on gold and Bitcoin. As you can see, there's a lot of selling pressure right now. I was like, let's go for sales. Okay. And I did make a lot of money starting from $50 and not $100, and then jumping pretty much around to 1,500. So basically, I started with $50, okay, on the 18th. And then I had my loss, my wins, my wins, my wins, my wins. And I was like, let's go. All right. But then I got a loss and then got wins as well on the same day. And then on the next day, right here. So if we look at on the 18th and the 19th, so you can see the way how I traded. All right, so we're here on gold, and this candle is on the 19th, which is Friday. And I believe I deleted already the profit target and the profit losses, but I traded around this area, and you guys can see that I had my sales, my sales, my sales, and then I had my buys, buys, buys right over this area as well. How do I know it to buy it? Because of the support level. And if we go further down onto the 30 minutes, there was a push back up. Because whenever it lands so fast onto the support level, it usually gives a jump back up in order to refill. Okay, and this happens most of the time. Push back down very quickly, push back up very quickly, push back down very quickly. It did hold and it did push back up. And then you guys can see over and over again in the smaller time frames because you guys can see it much better. And that's another way how you guys can do some sales and buys at the same time. So if we are moving to the second screenshot, so right now we are here on the 22nd, okay? And I got my wins, my losses, my wins, my losses, my wins and losses. Yes, I did trade a lot. I'm more like a scalp and day trader whenever it comes to trading smaller trading accounts like $50, $100 because I would like to gain as much profits as I can within a short period of time whenever there are some opportunities to trade. But if there are no opportunities, I will not, right? So so then I got my losses over here. I did cut my losses. I did set up my stop loss, which is a good thing because usually I don't. And I want to jump on to the next screenshot, but I don't want to talk too much into detail because there are so many trades that I did, and it's gonna take me forever to go over. And so on the 23rd, I had my losses, losses, losses. I was emotional. I believe I sort of got my revenge trading, but on the same time, I did see there was also an opportunity to do some sales, okay, which I did on the 23rd, and it did work out, okay. And then I had my losses again, but then I used my stop loss. So my stop loss was very tight because I didn't really want to have a big stop loss just like on the top right over here. All right, so right over here in this area, it is literally the 22nd and then moving downwards to the 23rd, right? If you guys see right over here, it's the 23rd, 23rd, 22nd, 22nd, 22nd. And here I had my buys and it didn't work out. So I think I did close the position manually, or I got um, hit by my stop loss, and I got hit by my stop loss over here again and again, but then eventually um, the gold pushed it pretty much to the downside. So I got my sales, my sales, my sales, my sales. And actually, I wanted to buy, but I did wait. And this area was also sales or buys. Let me double check very quickly. It was on the 23rd, 9 p.m. Third screenshot. So these were my position that was just hanging around. Okay, just hanging around this. No, not this one. It's 644. And then further right here on the 24th, right, the next day there was a good trade as well. And I believe it was, yeah, towards the London session. So this one, basically the Asia session, it went up and then it came back down. And then eventually it did plummet. So I really regret that I didn't hold any position. And when I saw the doji-ish, right? It's like kind of like hold, came up, came back down. I was like, okay, now it's time that there will be a pullback and then going for a sell. But for all of a sudden, it did plummet. I was like, yes, I know. I got to control my emotion because actually I wanted to sell. I was like, no, don't do it. But then I got some sales right over here and I closed the position manually because it didn't really went all the way back down. It only went back half towards the lower low. Okay. And then it did literally build up a new support level on the 30 minutes and probably the 1 hour and the 2 hour time frame. So literally around on the 23rd to 24th, I made literally 1,500-ish, like Wednesday. I think it was on Wednesday. But then right after on the same day, I think it was on the same day, and I lost it again. I can't believe it that I lost everything. I literally burned my account. Why? Why is it? It's because of my emotion and my greed. This is what I can figure out because I got my first loss and I got my second loss, and then the third, the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth. And I was like, I need to get it back because I literally gained $1,500 ish. Okay. So I went also pretty much aggressive. So I went 0.05 and I came back with 0.03. So my wins, and the wins again. Okay. And then it was just a mess. Okay. It was literally a mess with my emotions again because I believe that my emotions is really weak. Okay, so my emotions really screw up everything. However, I did my gains, my loss, my gains, my losses, and my gains again. And it's so sad, right? It is so sad to see like losing my gains again and again. And I even didn't withdraw anything, or maybe I placed like 50% of my gains on my other trading account. And I was just too greedy and too emotional. And you guys can see on the second screen as well. And my biggest loss in one sitting was 615. Okay, 615 on the 25th. So I played zero point 0.3 and not 0.03. And then the next one I lost 241. And down here 450. It was just crazy. And if you guys add everything up, I did make $1,500. But you guys can calculate by yourself. Here's the history. And if you guys still don't believe me, I can make a new video channel and literally let you see live on my actual trading account, the way how I log in. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my password and my login number, but I can refresh everything and then you guys can see that is a real trading account and not a fake account. Okay, so this area is basically my biggest loss. The reason why is what I have figured out, and I can mark this down for you right now. Um, what do you guys see here? This is a beautiful support level, right? And we're on the 30 minutes, a beautiful support level, 1 hour. It can be also a beautiful support level for the 2 hour time frame. Yes, as well ish. And as you guys can see here, right, we always have these rejection candles, right? We call it the candle wicks. It came down and did reject. Came down, reject, came down, reject. On the top is actually the same thing. Whenever you see something like this, don't trade because you have no idea where it really wants to go. So whenever you see long wicks on the top, on the bottom, it is undecided. So the buyers and sellers have no idea where they want to go. And then it's slowing down, slowing down, and slowing down. And sometimes you get a push up and then also a fake out and then comes back down. Okay. So if we go back on the 30 minutes time frame where I had my biggest losses and I thought that it will literally break under, give a retest or no retest, and then go more further down. Okay. Why? Because whenever you see most of the time that it is literally hitting on the support level over again, eventually it wants to break. Eventually, the support level cannot really hold, right? So this is what I see most of the time, but in this case, I was wrong. Okay, so I did think this was the one that I placed a sell to the downside. Okay, so I placed myself at the early stage and I placed myself somewhere around here as well. I was like, yeah, I'm in profit. No, I'm in loss. Yeah, I'm in profit, loss, profit, loss, profit, loss, right? And then eventually it came up and I was like, let me hold it. Maybe there is another fake out and then it will dump. So in this case, I did not put a stop loss. Okay. Seriously, I did not put a stop loss. If I had put a stop loss, it would hit the stop loss right around this area. Okay. So I just let it go, let it go, and let it go. And then I eventually lost pretty much over 50% of my profit. And obviously, I got more emotional. So I believe I did trade in this area as well. And I got my losses again. Okay. And then I had I also had my profits, but losses, and then I burned my account. I blow up my account, I screw up. Okay. So then on the 8th, right, the 25th, and I believe it was on Friday, I literally deposit another $50. Okay. And then I literally deposit a 50 cent because then I figure it out. Oh, even with $5, I still can trade BTC USD Bitcoin. And I was just emotional. I was gambling. Okay. I have to be honest, I was gambling. That's why I was like, okay, place another 50 cents. Maybe I can regain from $5 to $10 to $10 to $20, and then I don't need to deposit another 50 or $100. And then, as you guys can see right here, let me show it to you. So I had so I deposit another 50 cents. I was like, okay, let's do it again, starting with $5, and I deposited a $4 one, and I lost it at all, right? Another $5. I don't know what happened here. I got my gain, I lost it, and guess what? So on week three, I did deposit 859 and 50 cents USD dollar. Okay, and then I lost obviously negative 1864. So if you guys don't believe me, that is not a real trading account. I can prove it to you guys. Okay, but it's not about real or fake account. It's all about it is you guys can make money from trading. You really need to have your own system. You really need to know about your emotional, okay? Emotional and psychology is one of the most important part that you guys need to understand, right? Psych, all right, and psychology. And then obviously you need a trading strategy, all right? If you guys combine all this one together, you don't make that many mistakes that I did. Okay. So on week four, I'm going to do it again because I know that my strategy works. Okay. It does work. It doesn't work 100%. If it really works 100%, I would not get so many losses over and over and over again. Okay. So my strategy works. And I don't want to say that my strategy is the best. Choose a strategy what fits for your personality style, what fits for your daily routine. If you have a full-time job, go for swing trading. But if you are free during the New York session, right, during the New York session, then you guys can do some trading as well, like scalp trading or even day trading, right? Hold the position for 1, 2, or even 3 hours, and let's see how it's going to work out. Okay, if it's not, then do something else. All right. So you guys are going to hear from me on my next video. And if you guys wanna, so you guys can check out on my Telegram or on my Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to share the links to Telegram and Instagram down below. And please comment down below what I did wrong on it, or what else do you guys want to see. All right, and as always, you execute, you gain, you succeed. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.